going off the beaten track to find solutions. This is the 7th round of the ABSA Off-Road Championship in Blydenburg, over 400 kilometers, and Hannes Hobler looking for a hat-trick of wins at the Sasol Nissan Navara under complete control.
And Arnie, what's more, he was looking like he had a lot in reserve.
And he loves making the pace up front.
Very nice in the front. We didn't have any dust or whatever. I think at the moment we control the race very nicely from the front, and we're going to try and keep it up like that. You know, we didn't take any chances. There's lots of rocks and things, and where we had to look for the road, the drive was quite long, and there was a lot of lurkers just on the side of the road. So we're trying to drive as straight as possible and keep out of trouble.
Chris Visser battled with dust.
Oh, right. Just dust was a little bit hectic. The whole we catch up a little bit to Hannes, and then all of a sudden with the white roads, he just goes. But I think we're going right.
No problems with the vehicle?
No, nothing. No misfire, nothing. No, the vehicle's fine. Thank you very much.
Mark, how's it going out there?
Yeah, we're trying to keep it neat and tidy so we can get into the forest and then start pushing a little bit. Yeah, we maintained, I'd say, a fair pace. The board's right there, so we can't afford any mistakes. But we're pushing hard, so we'll see. Once we get into the forest, I'm hoping it's going to make a big difference.
What's the route like?
Extremely tough. It's a very tough event, very technical. You just don't have time to relax anywhere, otherwise you're going to have problems.
The Ford was faster than it had been all season and was competitive all the way. On the straight parts, though, the dust kept everyone at bay and made passing difficult. Any problems, Kenny?
No, not at all. No. We're going well. We're quicker than them in the rough, but then we're getting a lot of district road. So, yeah, I mean, it's so dusty you can't pass.
Is it a tough route? Demanding?
It's actually not. It's quite easy. It's actually too easy. Too much district road for us. We need a rough. But the race is still halfway through only.
In the Motorrad enclosure, there were smiles all round, and it looked like Hutchinson and Bergman were well on their way to a good finish.
Yeah, good so far. We've had too many problems. It's really rough and dusty. We haven't been able to make too many changes. We passed a few of the guys, but Gary, who's keeping a good pace, we're just sitting behind him really. We can't pass him, but we're just sitting in his dust. But I quite enjoy the forest, so we'll see what that holds in for us.
For Gary, there was a problem. They cracked a suspension arm and had to borrow Toyota's welding rig after they broke theirs. But it was a worried Bertelt who got into the driver's seat yet again.
Don Thompson was making a few of the big names sit up and take notice with a great drive, grand drive.
Oh, it's going like a dream, eh? So far, so good.
Picking up a few places too?
Yeah, well, past Kali Sluwat had a puncture, so we picked up one in the place in the specials, and I think past 2 buckies.
So you're having fun?
Yeah, enjoying it, eh? So looking forward to some beers later.
Well, it is thirsty work after all. George Barkhuizen had a few battles of his own.
It was going well up to now. There at the Toyota Spectator point, we seem to lost power steering, so hopefully the boys can fix it in time. But apart from that, it's going well. You know, we very dusty this morning. The stage is that you can just go 30-40 k's an hour, just wait for the dust to settle, or the guy in front to just get away, so you can drive in a bit clear air.
While the Zamatans were pleased, Fantonda and Guelpa had a major worry.
Yeah, we've got a little bit of a problem. We broke the left front side shaft right in the beginning, so we went the whole first round with only rear-wheel drive, so it was really difficult on the mountains, but we've just tried to maintain pace, and apart from that, we got 2 punches also, so we had a bad first round there.
So you're going to fight on in 2-wheel drive?
We'll try to fix it now. Ford guys are busy helping us here, and we'll try to fix it, and we've got a side shaft that'll fit there.
Horse, meanwhile, for the 2nd race in a row, was playing catch-up.
Rold, the defending champion, also found passing very difficult.
You can catch on the racing sections, but as soon as we get to a district road, whoever's in front of us, we have to go at their pace. It's impossible to get past. So
very dusty out there?
Very dusty, no wind. So on the racing sections in the mountains where the
the tracks aren't that dusty. Then we can pass cars, but then every now and then we hit a district road for a couple of Ks, and we can't do much.
For the Mickelin XL dealer team, it was a long day from the back after the prologue.
We started yesterday in the prologue. Unfortunately, we lost the drive shaft, so we had to take a penalty and a half and start at the back today. We had a terrible misfire, but it seems that they have sorted it out now. A few other nitty problems, but the only problem is the dust. It's a huge factor. But we with Duncan, and we'll try to stay with him. I mean, Duncan is very fast, but unfortunately for us, he's also in a dust handicap. So, but you'll see in the forest section, perhaps the dust settles it down a little bit. So, otherwise, it's like a route, like a rough.
In other words, just the way the boys like it. Onto the second loop, and once again, surprise, surprise, it included the daunting, tight, twisty and turny forest sections in the vicinity of the famous, or should that be infamous, Long Tom Pass. This loop started with a short racing section before a decontrol that took crews into the forests for a truly tough 145-kilometer section.
Grobler was now reveling being out in front. He was, after all, the only one who had no dust in front of him, and he made use of it too.
The four-time champ was absolutely flying along.
Fusan Badenhorst had a little moment here, but controlled it nicely.
Perhaps it was due to the fact that Woolridge and Schulthammer was right all over the back of them.
And then a matter of, thanks guys, see you later.
As soon as they hit the forests, Berthold's repair job gave up the ghost, and so did they. That left Motorite's Hutchinson and Bergman in the lead by almost 3 minutes.
And they too, like everyone else, loves front running.
The Solvarts had been slightly inconsistent since the early season and had battled a litany of upsetting and rhythm-breaking car problems, but they were back to their best.
Cronje and Birken were falling further and further behind due to a mysterious misfire which cut out the engine, and they were almost 15 minutes behind Grobler.
Thompson and Campbell had moved up another place and were heading for their best ever finish, into third in the specials and leading Class B handsomely.
That Zarko Light was running like a dream.
And to top all of that, Thompson and Campbell were doing some serious giant killing. Whitehouse and Carlson next scuttled into view. They were up from 6th and into 4th, having passed a massive amount of cars on the way.
And talking about passing a massive amount of cars, Force's drive was a thing of beauty. He and co-Ralph Pitchford just kept chipping away, up into 5th he went.
In Class B, Cry and Furcht had got past the Brain and Low and were trying to build a time gap. We continue right after this.
Vehicle and asset